So today is a fun little lesson, and remember, these are not intended to be lectures or anything like that. These are just little devotional thoughts, okay? We're not going super in depth, but after the flood, which was a real historical event. Hello, atheists. How are you? I know you're angry. You'll tell me all about it in the comments. Anyway, after the flood, Noah had a vineyard, and he drank of the wine of it, and he passed out drunk, naked in his tent. His son Ham goes in, sees his father's nakedness, and instead of covering him up or helping him or waking him up or any number of ways that Ham could have responded, instead he goes out and tells his brothers, hey, Dad's out there and, he's in his tent and he's naked and you got to see this. Kind of making fun of him and exposing the vulnerability of his father. And so, sorry, ADHD moment. And so Shem and Japheth go and put a garment between them, and they walk backwards to cover up the nakedness of their father, okay? And so when Noah wakes up, he knows what Ham has done, and he pronounces a curse on Ham. And the application that we'll make on this is that sin always thinks that someone else's sin is worse than your own. That's what sin will convince you. That I'm better off than so-and-so, and so therefore, I'm okay. At least I'm not passed out naked in my tent, right? So sin will always convince you that your sin isn't as great as another person's. It'll be hypercritical and will lack all compassion. It will laugh at another person when they are down instead of helping them. May the Lord help us to realize that our job is to call people to being reconciled to God instead of condemning them in their shame. After all, isn't that what Jesus did for us? He came to us when we were yet sinners, and he died in our place, died for our sin, and he helps those who can't help themselves. And that's the ministry of the gospel. Galatians 6, I think it is, tells us about, if there's one that's overtaken with a fault, that those that are more spiritual need to restore such an one in the spirit of meekness, considering themselves. In other words, if a more mature Christian sees a less mature Christian struggling, that more mature Christian needs to help that less mature Christian to be reconciled, to, get to a better place and understand that he's not better than the person who's fallen. The only thing that is keeping you from being like that person that you're judging and laughing at is the grace of God. That is it. And if you have so much pride in your heart to say, I'm better than, well, the Lord may take his protection away from you, and you may see how quickly you're ready to fall.